Okay, today's topic, you guys, is dreams. Okay, so manifesting your dreams, whether they are daydreams or night dreams. Okay, pay attention to what your conscious mind is creating and the life that your soul wants you to have. Okay, so just pay attention, my babies. Story time in a little bit. I'm gonna be inside soon. Mwah. You're going through a spiritual awakening, or if you're just trying to figure out what your dreams mean. So I'm going to be talking about a dream that I had when I was in Antioch, California, when I was undergoing as my spiritual awakening. So here we go. It's your girl NJ, aka the Barefoot Hooper. I kind of wanted to basically talk about dreams today. Of course, you should always chase your dreams and things of that sort. But what I want to talk about is more so like diving down of when you're asleep or even when you're like daydreaming and are a little hard to navigate with understanding whether or not what the dream meant. And I don't know if also you guys have ever had like dreams that you guys want to go back to, like if it was with a loved one, you know what I'm saying, or, etc. Be patient, my babies. If you're having crazy dreams right now, just pay attention to what, your mind is creating and what your soul is asking you to pay attention to. So let's talk about it. Also, we're going to be like talking, I wanted to like just dive down this path because what our souls and our conscious minds are creating is basically just reminding our human body and this human experience to pay attention to what our soul is craving, whether it was, night terrors or nightmares or beautiful, dreams, unlocking just another level of consciousness and things of that sort. So, my dream that I'm going to talk about today, I try to pay attention. Sometimes I don't even have dreams. Basically, while I was kind of going through this traumatic time in my life of being kicked out and kind of feeling like the black sheep of my family, I said in my last previous Life's a Bucket episode, I was talking about how I had to experience life on a couch, basically, and kind of just finding myself. While I was going through this and understanding that this is a human body experience, I started having like random ass dreams. When I would wake up, they felt so real. I didn't know how to like navigate them. Like I said, last episode, I was talking about how, me reading books and just unlocking different levels of my subconscious mind and understanding that what this world is and what my purpose is while I'm down here, basically. And so during this transition and spiritual awakening, I'm having these crazy ass dreams and I need help trying to realize what the hell they mean. You know what I'm saying? So just listen. So as I'm reading these books and the numerology and experiencing these different, like numbers have always been a part of our life, right? But like as you grow up, you just kind of learn about numbers, but it's more in a mathematical way. And just doing, when you're buying things, just you got to know numbers. And so as I'm unlocking the piece of spirituality and the side of myself, I'm understanding that these numbers have messages, symbolism behind them. And so I'm processing all this and looking up angel numbers, and different things which I'll talk about later on in the episodes. But thinking about these numbers and I'm paying attention to the numbers, like for instance, it's 131. I was starting to look up, what it meant, like behind the message, basically, like the subliminal messages that my angels, or, I guess in my case, I was asking God to show me, like what I'm supposed to be doing. Mind you, in last episode, I was talking about how I was, going through depression, and this is when I got really connected to God and started understanding what this life was and what my purpose was. And I had gotten kicked out of my house. And so this dream that I had was when I got kicked out, it was a lot of dramatic situations that kind of showed a side of myself that I'm not ashamed of, but it's a side of me that I kind of try to hinder from the world. And so that hurt kind of came out. I was ashamed, to say the least, because it's my family. And with that being said, I was going through the process of forgiving, what had happened to me, but also learning to forgive myself for unleashing, I guess, basically the side that I didn't want to show. I was just defending myself. And so a lot of the times in this world, we'll get caught up in trying to lock away a certain side of ourselves because people say you have anger issues or you shouldn't act like this, or you need to dress like this, or whatever the case may be. In this situation, when I got kicked out, it was very intense, and, you know, like an altercation had, you know, transpired, but nothing like brutal or anything, just a side of me that I never would expect me to show to my family happened, and, you know, it resulted in me kind of sleeping on a couch. And so this is where I start having dreams. Specific dream that I'm talking about, I'm on this couch, sleep. The dream that I'm having, the house that I was kicked out of, my mom stays in. So I'm going through this, you know, process of accepting not entering a home that my mom and my little sisters stay at. So I just was not, I was basically like banished, which is okay, and I'm understanding. But in this dream, I'm walking to the house that I originally got kicked out of and the altercation happened at. When I'm walking through the gate, this dream that I'm having is kind of like a nightmare to me, because not until later that next morning that I understood what the message that my angels were kind of trying to tell me. Like I said, that's why, you know, I think it's really important to pay attention to the dreams that you do have, and pay attention to what your mind and soul is reminding your body of, reminding you of what, you know, what you are and what you want to do. So I'm sleeping, and I enter the gate to the house, and as I'm approaching the home, I start feeling very, very, very uneasy. I'm in the dream, I'm sleeping, okay? So this is not me awake. So I'm very, very, very scared, and it's daytime, but the energy that I'm feeling in my dream while I'm approaching the house is just very intense, high. It was like something wanted to get me. And it just seemed like, to me, when I was experiencing it, it seemed very dark. Something was angry at me. So when I turned around, what I saw was this big, like, I need you guys to use your imagination, okay? It looked so real. I don't know. I didn't realize I was asleep until I woke up. I turned around, and this big panther, as I was growing up, the animal, the Black Panther, has always been, like, always stood out to me. I just loved the coat that it carried, and I knew that it glistened when sunlight hit it. So it's kind of like a black jaguar, or like a black cheetah or something, because panthers do have print. It's just hard to see it until it's in the light. When I grew up, I always wanted a pet panther, because I always thought that, you know, if I got a pet panther and someone tried to, like, rob me, or someone tried to, like, kill me, whatever, I would have a panther, and it would be so dark that, you know, they wouldn't know that my panther was with me. So the panther would just kind of, you know, attack. And so as a little girl, that's something that I always just, I loved panthers, okay? So now back to the store a second. Oh, add me on PS4. Okay, I am going to get 2K23, but you feel me? Sorry. MJ, I see you don't want any smoke. So back to the movie. Back to the dream. It's this, I turn around, and this big panther is like, it's like hunched over, you know? Metaphorical, like, animal or creature that, you know, will kind of like depict what I'm trying to say. Have you guys seen the movie Split? Imagine the dude. If you haven't seen Split, look it up, because that's probably the best example, because the panther looks like a human. Like, it looks like it wanted to be a human, but it was in the form of an animal. And pay attention. It was running after me, y'all. So when he's in the parking lot, or he's the beast, basically, and he's still in a human form, but he's like, his body just looks very, you know, morphed into this animal-like figure. It basically looked like that, but it was a panther. So it was a cat, just in his body form and big. So just imagine the size that's in the movie, like 5 times bigger or 3 times bigger. Like, just it was big as heck. This big creature is like chasing me. Nobody is around. I'm literally just trying to walk into the house that, you know, I was kicked out of. In the dream, I guess I didn't understand that I was kicked out, so my dumb ass was like walking in it. This panther was just like mad. Why? But it was mad at me. I didn't know what I did. I just ran. You know, us Black folks, ask no questions. You just start running. And so I was running. And then it didn't catch me. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I'm having dreams, it does seem like a movie. So it'll go from like one dream to like another one, and then boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So when it was chasing me, I just remember having so much fear, y'all, and just anxiety that it was going to catch me. and it looked so terrifying, just so sinister. I don't know how to like describe it. I guess it's because I thought it was so real and I didn't realize that I was asleep. So when he's running after me, or she, whatever sex the animal was, it was just chasing me, and then it just, I don't remember if I woke up or if it just went to another dream. It probably went to another dream because I didn't start thinking about the dream I just had, and that panther dream, until I woke up the next morning. So I woke up the next morning, I remembered having the panther dream. So mind you, after I got kicked out and having that panther dream, I just remembered not really being able to share my side of the story in regards to the altercation and what had transpired at the house. And so when I was hearing, everything that was being told about me and how the story was told, it just it made me kind of, alone. And I just felt like everyone who kind of grew up with me and knew the kind of person I was, they just kind of forgot about her. So when I woke up and had that dream, I originally thought that the panther that was chasing me, a symbolism of my family attacking me, and I was running away from them. But that was not the case at all, y'all. So since I originally thought that it was my kind of a depiction of my family chasing me away, making me run away from, I guess, my problems at the time, or chaos or whatever, because I've never really been a confrontational person. I'm more of like the person who is going to defend themselves. I won't start anything, per se. I woke up and I started thinking about the panther. And when I say I started thinking about it, every morning when I was going through this little phase of mine, I would wake up around 6 and just read like the Bible. I would read it. I would just kind of flip to a page and just, kind of correlate it to my life. So I was reading spirituality books and just kind of all of that. Numerology, angel numbers, all of the above. Started really fixating my mind on what that panther meant in my dream. I no longer depicted the panther as my family. I later realized that the panther was me. How I was able to piece together the panther being myself. I woke up that morning and my auntie, Mother Teresa, she had spiritual books and like this book where it was talking about your spiritual animal. Remember when I just told you that I always was fascinated by panthers? The symbolism in that dream was basically me running away from myself, me having to learn to love that side of myself, and being able to, be her and understand what I was going through at the time. I wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. The altercation just led to something, bigger than both of us, and we just lost control, like the panther. And so when I didn't have control, I wanted to run. So I was depressed, and I just wanted to kind of like leave Antioch and things. And so in this spiritual animal book, like I said, I would open books, and I wouldn't read, chapter to chapter. Basically, I would just flip. So if I had I'm gonna go get my book. One sec. Okay, so like I, read sometimes in the morning, sometimes when I just want to relax, kind of, showing you how I read my books and how I would get the messages and how I would be able to piece together the puzzle and understand my dreams to my subconscious mind, basically. It's like spirit clans. It's a big turtle. And it's native wisdom for personal power and guidance. And so this is by David Carson. Here's another one, prayers for a woman. And here's another one, healing promises. A little bit of goddess. I just got this from Barnes & Noble, so y'all, this it was like a 50% discount for all hardcovers. I had to go there. And then this one is the African Goddess Initiation. So I love this book. This one is so informative. What I mean by not reading chapter to chapter, from like 4 to 5, 6, I will just open it and then just go and just stop. Whatever page I've stopped on, I'll just read it. And that goes for, all of these books. Basically, like my spirit clan's book, she had a spiritual animal book. So when I woke up and I grabbed my auntie's book, it was just sitting on the table. So of course, I don't believe in coincidences. So I thought it was more so like my angels just confirming, like, you're curious. So look, I grabbed the book. It's a lot smaller than this. And I just flipped. I did not read anything. I just flipped. And this was literally the day after I had the panther dream. The panther is my spirit animal. Wow. Y'all, my mind like kind of exploded. So I connected to panthers even when I was a little girl. Like all of this stuff is just coming back to me and I'm understanding everything. And what the book was basically saying is how the symbolism of the panther is, it's like they're very powerful. There's basically like protection. And so I wasn't running away from myself. I was basically running from my protection ultimately. And so it just all made so much sense to me. After that day, I just really started paying attention to what I dreamed about and, like just kind of everything. It took me back to my childhood. It took me back to what I used to believe in. It took me back to what I wanted to be. And so it just completely shifted my perspective on life and on myself. Pay attention to them and pay attention to what your soul and your subconscious mind is trying to tell you. If you really think about it, when we're sleeping in our vehicles, our human body is kind of asleep. Our minds still go, and our subconscious minds still go to places that we want to see. They still hang on to relationships that we want to hold on to. They take us to a whole nother dimension that our human body cannot take us to. And so when you are having these dreams that just don't seem to make sense, or, you forget the dream, but then it comes back to you and you have that nostalgic feeling, pay attention to what your soul and your subconscious mind is trying to tell you or warn you about. I kind of want to share one more dream of mine that I had at, the dream house. I call it the dream house, my mother Teresa's house. I call it the dream house because everything it was the spiritual house, man. I just got so connected to different things that I just cannot have here. I was sleeping and woke up in the middle of the night. So like, when you're sleeping and you're uncomfortable or you're hot, like just something like it's like a split second that you're uncomfortable and you just like turn over or you flip the pillow over, or you kick your leg out the blanket to get some cool air, just the little things that you do when you're sleeping. I did that as I'm turning over to kind of get on a cool side because I was kind of hot. I had an image of a dolphin in my head. I was not asleep. And so when that happens, I woke up. So mind you, I'm sleeping. And then when I go to turn, I get this image of like a dolphin jumping out of the water. And so that's how I looked. I was like, what the heck? And so this dolphin dream, I don't really understand this one because I've never really been fascinated by dolphins. I'm not really a swimmer. Like, I know how to swim. I don't want to. I kind of got through my swimming phase, when I was a little child. And so I don't really want to get in the water. I have this vision of like image. It just flashes in my head. Like I flip over and it's just dolphin. And then I just kind of look around and obviously it's just me out downstairs. Like I'm by myself. I told my minds to remember that you just had a flash image of dolphins in the water, like in the ocean. So then, I went back to sleep next morning and I told my auntie Teresa about it because I was kind of not nervous. I was kind of confused. Like I said, I had the panther dream already. So I was under the impression that, what does this one mean? I'm kind of confused on what my angels are trying to tell me. But it gets a little deeper. So just stay with me. This night that I have the dream of the dolphins, the next day, I had it planned out that Mother Teresa and, my best friend Thomas, we were going to go to this spiritual shop, some spiritual candles, some sage, chakra rocks, energy rocks, like those kind of things. The day before we went there, I had the dolphin dream. Also very excited to kind of get a reading. I've never had a reading, but I wanted to understand more. And so I was very excited for this. The night before we were going to the spiritual shop, I had this dolphin dream. And I woke up and I told her about it. I told her about, the dolphins. She kind of gave me reassurance that it could have been a cousin or an uncle that had passed away that loved dolphins. And he was just trying to connect with me, on that level because he probably seen me kind of going down this, spiritual journey. And I did get emotional in that particular moment because I started to feel a connection to him. This was kind of his way to connect with me into the idea of a different reality. This is the morning that we're going to the spiritual, the spiritual store. So basically, I went to this store, and when I say store, it's not like just this one building. Like, they have different vendors and like different, readers and just they have different sections and different areas for you to venture off into. But when we went to the spiritual store, you guys, I ended up getting a reading. When, mind you, I had the dolphin dream. So when I got the reading, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do it or partake in this because, I don't really like paying for that kind of stuff. But the fact that I was kind of curious and I wanted to see what it would lead me to, I did want to see what would happen. So I did pay for a reading. So basically, before I paid for the reading, this guy, it was me, Thomas, and Mother Teresa. The guy was going to tell us about our shadows, our spirit animal, and like basically like what kind of life we're gonna have. Like, when we were standing there, we didn't really want to pay to get a reading, so we were just like watching him do his thing. And so when he was shuffling, a card just popped out, and it was a bee. And so I don't like bees. I used to not like bees. Bees are actually attracted to light and like blooming flowers. So if you realize that bees are coming towards you, it's probably because your energy is really high and you're having a great day or whatever. You just got some great news, and the bee is basically feeling that energy, so they think you're a flower. Anyways, a bee card popped out, and so he's looking at all of us, and he was like, "Oh, she wants a reading." I thought he was I knew he was talking about me because I don't like bees, and once I see the bee card, I instantly thought like, "Oh, freak." He says, "Oh, she wants a reading." I look at her and I'm like, "Oh, you do?" And then he says, "No, you do." He felt my energy. So I was like, dang. And so I sat down, and so he, he was going to just give me, he's basically just going to shuffle and see what cards pop out. 3 cards popped out. I did take pictures, but they're on my old phone and it kind of broke. So I'm going purely off memory. The card that came out as my spirit animal was a dolphin. He told me that the dolphin is one of the smartest animals in the sea, and it's one of 2 fishes that can communicate with any animal in the water, I think, and that's what makes them one of the smartest fishes in there. Fish, whatever. I ain't the smartest out here. Anyways, that was after I had the dolphin dream. I ended up getting the reading that a dolphin is my spirit animal as well. They're the only animal that could communicate with any creature, and you humans. One of 2 animals that can communicate with humans and animals in the water. That was one of the cards, and I thought that was just so crazy and ironic. I didn't understand why I had the dolphin dream until I got the card. So then it just opened my eyes to everything. And one was basically a beetle, like a bug. He was basically telling me that this like bug or whatever kind of grows through shit. So how he made it symbolic to me and how it kind of, held significance to it was more or less saying that I'm going to go through a lot, but I'm going to grow through it. So I'm going to evolve through the shit that I go through. In order for a cockroach or whatever this bug was, in order for them to evolve, they have to be in shit. So, and then the 3rd card was, I don't remember. Give me some time. Hold on. Dang, what was it? I'm texting Thomas to see if he remembers. I'm just waiting for Thomas to tell me if he remembers. I don't have it on this phone. Hey, do you remember the 3 cards that I got that one day when we were in Antioch and Brentwood getting the reading?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. Okay, so I can't remember what the other card was. I'm gonna have to look through my iCloud and things of that sort to try to find it. But basically, that was kind of the gist of my reading. I had the dolphin dream and what my angels were kind of trying to tell me. I ended up doing my own research on dolphin symbolism and what the spiritual meaning is behind that animal being your spiritual animal. Just wanted to, like I said, just, tell you guys and talk to you guys about my personal experience with my crazy ass dreams and nightmares, like the things that I used to think about when I was a kid, and just reminded me of how pure my mind once was before it got kind of corrupted with, this world. How to act, being told what to think about, being told how to live, and being told, like, what your values should be. Just pay attention, and I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a, human body experience. So the life that you want, you can have. So just spread your smile, keep radiating that soul of yours, and pay attention to the dreams that you have, and my baby, okay? Just understand that there's more to this world, okay? What is around you, the energy that you're surrounding yourself with, and just be mindful of how powerful your energy is. Thank you for listening to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comments. I've been reading some of y'all's comments. It's kind of mean, but it's okay. I'm really worried about it. Oh, add me on, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'll put it in the description. Okay, so happy Friday, y'all.